Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to call to order the Commissioners' meeting for Thursday, August 22nd, 2024, it being 1 p.m. I would like to make an announcement, several announcements actually, before we join in a moment of silent reflection. The announcements are as follows. On item F on the first page, under Blair County Bridge number 33, there was a change that it stated that 95% reimbursable through the roadmap fund. That is not accurate. That will be from the Marcellus Shale Legacy Funds. Under staff reports and special business, under C, the Salvation Army, we had inadvertently put on there that this would be for the FY 22-23 year. It should reflect the 23-24 year. And last, on the back page under G, under prison, as if we don't talk about it enough, we had advertised and put out into our notice that this would be on. We'd be requesting approval for the bids. It was not actually on our agenda, so those were items I and 2I were both added on. With that being said, would you please join me in a moment of silent reflection? If you would join me to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. It's hard for all of us to synchronize that. I'll call for the approval of the Board of Commissioner meeting minutes. Make a motion for the approval of the Board of Commissioner meeting minutes for 8/8 and 8/13. May I have a second? All in favor? Aye. And do we have any executive session announcements? Yeah. No, there were no executive session announcement. Public comment.
Just as a as a follow-up to your letter I under letter G, I was just interested in knowing, and you may have this coming in your report, but I didn't remember any bids, any listing of bids. So I was wondering if the $722,861,000 was the low bid, and if there were any other bids for that project.
Oh, you mean under H? Yeah, under the roof.
The roof bid,
Yeah.
the slate roof, yeah, so that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for additional bids. But you can wait till you get there.
Okay. Thank you for giving us time. Commissioners' comments.
I was going to note that school is back in session for most of the people, most of the kids in Blair County. And it's that time of year where we need to pay attention to school buses, their yellow and red lights, and also children who may be walking or biking to school. So please exercise caution during those hours of the day.
Mr. Oster. Okay, we would just like to recognize that Joe Hurd had his retirement party yesterday at the Curve, and he's been in this position for a very, very long time and has done a great job. And we will miss him, but we're grateful. Hopefully, he'll enjoy retirement. So, just want to say thanks to him. Consent agenda. We'll go through the consent agenda of payment. for the following 5 warrant lists as outlined in item A. The ratification of the following 4 warrant lists is outlined in item B. The budget transfers in C, D, F, the Blair County Old Mill Bridge Replacement Project, G, resignations, H, employments, and I, status changes. May I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I'll make a motion.
All those in favor? Aye.
Second.
Second. I'll second it. Sorry. All those in favor? Aye. Staff reports and special business. Blair Senior Services.
Hi, good afternoon. I'm Derek Flagg from the Blair Senior Services with the MATP program. That's the Medical Assistance Transportation Program. And over the last fiscal year, we've served about 1,700 unique individuals, providing over 10,000 medical trips ranging from routine care to life-sustaining treatment. The consumers served by the program range from newborns to the very elderly. About 85% of these trips are going to Blair County medical providers. The Medical Assistance Program exists to enable these consumers access to medical care from routine to complex that they would have no other means to access without the program. So we are requesting approval for a participation grant agreement and assurance of compliance for the Medical Assistance Transportation Program between the County of Blair and the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania for the period of July 1, 2024 to June 30, 2025. And also requesting approval for a contract for the Medical Assistance Program between the County of Blair and Blair Senior Services for the period of July 1, 2024 to June 30, 2025.
Okay, we'll approve these one at a time. So for the initial one, I will make a motion to approve the participation grant agreement and insurance compliance for the Medical Assistant Transportation Program in the County of Blair for the period of July 1st, 2024 through and including June 30th, 2025. May I have a second?
Second.
Any comments or questions? All those in favor? Aye. I'll also request the approval of the contract between the Medical Assistance Transportation Program and the County of Blair for the senior services for the period of July 1st, 2024 through and including June 30th, 2025. May I have a second?
I'll second.
Any comments or questions? All those in favor? Aye. Thank you very much. Appreciate what you do. Blair County Agricultural and Land Preservation Board.
Good afternoon. I'm Rich Heater with the Blair County Ag Land Preservation Board. I just want to start out a little bit, just a reminder that ag is the #1 industry here in Blair County and in the Commonwealth. And the mission of the Blair County Ag Land Preservation Board is to preserve our highly productive farmland for ag use now and well into the future. So on behalf of the board, I present a resolution to sign an agreement of sale for the first of 2 farms today to do agricultural conservation easements. The first easement for today will be on the England Family Limited Partnership Dilling Farm. I will note the agenda did list this as the Penn England Family Limited Partnership, and you'll see the confusion a little bit. So the owners are offering 123.9 acres of the farm for the conservation easement, with a total easement value of $298,671.30. We're looking to use county contribution of $85,000. This will again be from the funding for the board that was allocated to them through the Act 13 funds. So on behalf of the Blair County Ag Land Preservation Board, I do request your approval.
I'll make a motion to approve the agreement for the sale and purchase of the agricultural conservation easement with the County of Blair and the England Family Limited Partnership. May I have a second?
I'll second that.
Just a real quick question, and I may have heard you wrong or it may be printed wrong. I thought that you said that the county shall pay $85,000. On our list it says 89. Is there?
It's 85.
It's 85, so it's 85,000 and
Yes.
not 89,000. Okay, thank you very much. Any other Well, I do want to make one comment. We have the most, is it correct, we have the most in the state with the land preservation?
We have in our region, between
In our-
us and center are back and forth in this region.
Yeah, so, and I think you may have said this, do you know how many acres that is right now? It's in farm preservation?
That's coming up.
Okay, all right then, I'll stop. I just think it's interesting because this is a really, I think a great program. We appreciate everything that you're doing. We recognize, we were just out at Richie's Dairy for their event out there for the summer event. So we appreciate it. So any other comments or questions? All those in favor? Aye.
Okay, so then we have the second easement that we are looking at today. This easement will be on the Penn England Family Limited Partnership Royer Farm. The owners are offering 117.09 acres for the conservation easement. The total easement value will be $283,357.80. We're looking for the county to participate at $70,000, again, from the Act 13 funds allocated to the board. These additional 2 farms will bring our preserved farms to 64, with almost 9,320 acres here in Blair County permanently preserved for ag use into the future. So we do request your approval. I would also like to note that these 2 purchases are able, because of the generous contributions of the $130,000 that the board did allocate to us from Act 13 funds. With that $130,000, we were able to receive almost $382,000 from the state. So almost a 3-to-1 match.
I like that.
Yep.
I'll make a motion to approve the agreement of the sale of the purchase of agriculture conservation easement to the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania and County of Blair jointly in perpetuity and Penn England Farm Limited Partnership. May I have a second?
Second.
Any comments or questions? All those in favor? Aye. Again, thank you very much from the board for what you do. We appreciate all your efforts.
Thank you.
Salvation Army.
Stepping in for Jim. Requesting approval for the submission of the State Food Purchase Program Expense and Data Report. This is for the 23-24 year, as stated before, to the Pennsylvania Department of Agriculture.
I'll make a motion to approve the submission of the State Food Purchase Program Expense and Data Report for the 23-24 year. May I have a second?
Second.
Any comments or questions? All those in favor? Aye. Thank you. CYF. Mindy is a regular participant.
That's right. All right, today we're requesting approval of fiscal year 24-25 agreement for payment of legal services between the County of Blair, Blair County Children, Youth, and Families, and Michael Adams, Esquire, attorney at Mears and Adams at $85 per hour for the period of July 1st, 2024 through June 30th, 2025.
I'll make a motion to approve the pay agreement of legal services between the County of Blair and Michael Adams, Esquire, attorney of Mears and Adams. May I have a second?
Second.
Any comments or questions?
He's an additional
He is,
child counselor.
yeah.
I did say, I just want
Yep.
to make sure, and I couldn't find it in my packet.
Yeah.
All those in favor? Aye.
All right, and then we're requesting approval of the fiscal year 24-25 agreement for purchase under bidding threshold between the County of Blair, Blair County Children, Youth, and Families, and DeWitt Cleaning Services, LLC, for home cleaning services provided on an as-needed basis at rates as detailed in Exhibit A.
I'll make a motion to approve the agreement for the underbidding threshold between the County of Blair under CYF and the DeWitt Cleaning Services LLC for home cleaning. May I have a second?
Second.
Any comments or questions?
It looks like this is going beyond just like bringing in a dumpster and putting stuff in it. Do you want to talk a little bit about what
Yes,
all
so
they're
we
gonna be
actually
doing?
found a cleaning service that does a little bit of, like they help with organization and more of the psychological issues that go along with hoarding situations. So they'll go in and teach them how to keep the house clean instead of us just getting dumpsters and cleaning them out constantly. This company will go in and teach them cleaning techniques and how to keep it clean moving forward.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Russ Montgomery.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I'd like to request approval and acceptance of the Indigent Defense Grant Program funds from the Pennsylvania Commission on Crime and Delinquency in the amount of $97,092.
I'll make a motion to approve, accept the 23-24 Indigent Defense Grant Program funds from PCCD in the amount of $97,092. May I have a second?
I will happily second this.
And Russ, this is the first time this has happened?
Yes, this is new. They proposed the same amount for next year. The governor has been getting behind.
So you've been in your position for a while. Can you explain, like, why this is such a good thing? I mean, this is a good thing.
Well, Pennsylvania is the only state up until now that gave no money for public defenders. Public defenders' offices all over the state are underfunded. I think I've said it to you before. I've heard that 20% of the public defender positions statewide are open, so it's very hard to recruit. And so this grant isn't only for that, but I think that's what a lot of people are using it around the state to try to get attorneys' fees up. We're asking for an investigator. About half this grant, I forget the exact breakdown, is going to the courts, and they're going to use it for, because we've had a real problem with conflict counsel getting appointed. So that's what it's going to be used for now, and then we'll see what happens in the years future. Everybody had hoped, I think it was 10 million this year, that it would go up. Last year it didn't. The allocation is just another 10 million. So hopefully we get another 97 next year.
So with the investigator, correct me if I'm wrong, but the district attorney's office has, now I can't even think of them. Detectives, thank you, detectives, and you never had anybody for that role. So for those individuals who are seeking your service, this is a plus to them because it gives you another avenue to help them in preparation of their case.
Correct. What happens is, I mean, we have our attorneys do most of the investigation, which is not ideal, but you know, we'll go out and knock on the door and talk to people. I'd really rather have attorneys than an investigator if I could, because they're the ones that do the work. And then there's times when there's a lot of investigation needed, and we'll go to the court and get funds and hire an investigator. And we've done that in homicide cases and things like that. But we've never had an in-house investigator who the attorneys can go to and say, this is what this was said, go talk to them, or what have you, investigate any of that stuff. So part of our grant is a part-time temporary investigator. That's what we had proposed to use part of it for.
Thank you very much.
Question, I submitted a resolution and the application. I assume I'm the one that's going to put that in e-grants and give it to them. Will you guys be forwarding that to me, the resolution and the contract acceptance?
Yes.
We'll forward it to
Lindsay is
you.
nodding.
If you don't want to forward it to me, I just kidding.
All those in favor? Aye. It's all right. Thanks, Russ. Finance.
All right. We're requesting approval of the 24-25 volunteer AD&D program renewal application. That's through CCAP. That's for the period of October 1, 24 through October 1 of 25. This is something that we do every year to cover the volunteers that we have. It is the same amount as in prior years, $560.05, so it did not go up.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we approve the 24-25 volunteer ADD program renewal application with CCAP for the period of October 1, 2024 through and including October 1, 2025. May I have a second?
I'll second that.
Any comments or questions? All those in favor? Aye. Prison.
We are requesting the approval to accept the bids received for the food and non-food items of the Blair County Prison and to award or reject per county code thereafter.
I'll make a motion to approve to accept the bids received for the food and non-food items for the Blair County Prison. May I have a second?
I'll second that.
Comments or questions? All those in favor? Aye.
And we are also requesting the approval to accept the bids
received for the milk products for the Blair County Prison and to award or reject per county code thereafter.
I'll make a motion to accept the bids to receive the milk products for Blair County Prison and to award or reject per county code thereafter. May I have a second?
Second.
Comments or questions? All those in favor? Aye.
Thank you.
Thanks. I guess I'll take these. unless
Oh,
someone
I
else
was gonna
wants.
say, you probably want me to do this.
Okay. Yes.
I'm here today to request approval of a contract between the county and the David M. Maines Associates Organization for the roof restoration and slate replacement at the Blair County Courthouse for the old section of the courthouse, in the amount of $722,861. Just to give a little bit of extra information, this is we started down this road last summer. We obtained CoStar's is where we found the contractor. He had given us a quote with several different options. I obtained approval from the Hollidaysburg Borough, what is it called? The HARB, yeah, and the Historical Architecture Review Board, as well as from council that we could proceed with this. We then, during budget time last fall, allocated funds from ARPA to pay for this. In the meantime, prices had gone up a little bit, but then came back down to, it's an amount that's lower, and it's like $60,000 lower than the original quote. So I was happy to hear that the materials, the cost of materials came down so significantly. So I'm asking for approval of this contract so that we can go forward with replacing that roof.
Are you making that in the form of a motion? or-
Yes, that is a
Okay.
motion. Thank
All
you.
right. I'll second the motion. Any comments or questions?
So could I ask, the ARPA, I recall a discussion at budget time about ARPA money. Is the amount within what we just designated? Okay, gotcha, that's good then.
And it's my understanding it is not replacing it with slate.
It's an artificial, it's a new type of slate. We have a sample of it in the, in Ken's office, but the Historic Architecture and Review Board, they were happy with that.
So is it similar appearance, just
It
not?
looks the same, yeah.
not the same? Okay.
And of course, it's so high up, there's, I don't think you could even tell, if you were looking at it.
Any further comments or questions? All those in favor? Aye. I'll make a motion to approve the appointment of the following individuals: Tricia Johnson, Joe Cox, Drew Yingling, Amy Martin Shanafelt, Colleen Heim, and Judy Rosser to be appointed to the Opioid Settlement Committee, with Tricia Johnson being the chair of that committee. May I have a second?
I'll second that.
So this is a long-awaited, I think, from Kay. This is in response to what are we going to do with the opioid funding money. And as this board has attended some meetings and tried to gather as much information as we could, and talking to other neighboring counties, we felt as a board this was the best way to distribute this money. We're essentially having a committee of individuals from the community who will review and make suggestions and recommendations as to where and how this money is to be spent, the best way it can be spent for the commissioners to be able to review and approve. All those in favor? Aye. Under old business is discussion for the Blair County Trail and Recreation Authority. The only thing that I can say there is that that is still moving forward. So that will still be on the agenda. So that being said, I'll make a motion to adjourn. May I have a second?
Second?
All those in favor? Aye. The next Board of Commissioners meeting will be held Tuesday, August 27th at 1 p.m. Thank you very much.